you have me crying. There's something really fun about that. Call of Duty and I don't know, Roblox. Now, I'm not saying write a whole text message breakup. Could all those things be wrapped up into like lifestyle and stuff like that? Hi, hello, it's Troy-Nicole and the sun is sunning today. Hopefully it moves around because that's a little bit too much sun. But this is the only place in my room that has light, so we're gonna have to deal with it. I don't know how many times you guys have ever actually seen this part of my room because normally you only see like this side, but that side ain't great for videos, so we're gonna just move on. So today we're gonna be talking about making community and building community and making friends on social media. I just thought this would be a fun thing to talk about with my How to Journal series and all my videos on like how I edit and stuff like that, just because, I mean, if you're getting into social media of any kind and you're like me and horrible at making friends, talking to people and stuff like that, this might be a little bit helpful. So I keep looking to the side because my iPad is right here and I have all these notes. Maybe I should put it in front of me. Maybe that's a smarter idea. Okay, so my first tip in making friends and building a community on social media is engaging in people's content. I know this is pretty self-explanatory, but I don't just mean following people, you know, giving them a heart on a video or something like that. But what I mean by that is engaging authentically caring about other people's videos, their posts, and whatever the social media platform is. For example of what I mean by this is when you're just starting out making friends and building community and wanting to talk to other creators, talk to other people on social media, even if they don't consider themselves like social media creators, you just commenting a heart or just commenting really cool, it doesn't really build a conversation up. You know what I mean? So if I, for example, one of my friends posts a video and I just put a heart, nothing's wrong with just putting a heart, but all they're going to do is like it or put a heart back because there is no conversation. Something you could do instead is, I don't know, if they put my favorite 10 spreads of 2024, then you can say in the video your favorite spread, what about that spread you liked, what colors you liked. You can ask them about the stationery they have in it, where to get it, stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, if you just want to do a heart because you just want to give them like a little bit of accolade, you're not really trying to have a conversation. I know I don't always have time to comment on my mutuals posts, so sometimes I'll just do a heart or I'll put like love it or I'll do something along those lines, really cool, stuff like that when I don't have time. But if I really wanted to talk to them, I would be a little bit more specific about what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not saying write a whole text message breakup on their comment section. I'm just saying make it a little bit more personal and give them a reason to respond to you. Like, make it obvious that you want to have a conversation. Or if you just want to give props and move on, you can just give props and move on. Following on to that tip is don't think commenting one time on someone's post or video counts as solid engagement to build a community or a friendship with that person. Here's the thing. I've noticed that people that I have close friendships with and close community with, especially on YouTube or TikTok, are people that I constantly see on my page and I'm commenting on their page. So for example, if someone comments on my page one time, I'm not saying I'm not grateful for that. I'm going to respond and we can talk or whatever. But if that's the only time I ever see you, I probably won't remember that you ever commented on my video. But if you're like continuously commenting, and I don't mean like every single video, like overkill, you don't gotta do all that. But I mean, make it authentic. If you see someone's video come on your friends page or in your subscription box, even if it's just you don't have time to comment really on the video, something I always do with my friends if I don't really have time to do it is I'll put it on my story. So if I see someone's TikTok, I'll take the TikTok and I'll put it on my story so my followers can see. If I'm on Instagram, I post that on my story. If I'm on YouTube, I'll make it a community post and I'll shout somebody out. And it's not inauthentic. It's really just me wanting to help them out, build community, talk about things, even if I don't necessarily have time. Because listen, we all have lives, people have kids, husband, wives, they're caretakers. Everyone doesn't have time to comment on every single video. But all I'm saying is if you are on the app, if you do have time, make it a point to do that. Okay, I think I'm on number 3. And number 3 is when in doubt, comment on someone's story. So this depends on what your, platform you're on, because I don't think YouTube has stories, right? They don't have stories. I don't think so. No, right? I don't know, whatever. But like if you're on TikTok or Instagram, for example, most people when they post a video on TikTok or they post a post or a reel on Instagram, they put it in their stories. So if you want to start a conversation, you could always try that out. Send that DM, girl. Don't be scared. If they don't respond, they don't respond, and you can just move on. But they probably will. So for example, if I'm following somebody and we have a mutual follow, but we've never really talked to each other, but I kind of want to and I kind of want to support each other, I may see their story and I may comment on the story and be like, been loving your post lately, or I don't know, something that has to do with their story. I think that's an easy way to like go into the DM section of it, because if you're in the DMs already, you can kind of go back and forth in a way you can't do in a comment section. For example, one of my mutuals on TikTok, me and her were mutuals, but we never really spoke to each other. And I wasn't really thinking anything of it. I wasn't really trying to like build anything, but I randomly saw one of her posts on her story that was a repost from her regular video, and I thought it was really funny, and I was like, girl, laugh my off, you have me crying. And then she responded and we were going back and forth for like 30 minutes. So I do think commenting on people's stories is a good way to go, or I think a community post like on Instagram, YouTube is really great too, but somewhere that makes it a little bit more intimate. Like you can't really be intimate on YouTube because everything's kind of out there, but on TikTok and Instagram you definitely can. Number 4 is to follow people within the same range as you. So I don't mean this in the sense of, oh, don't follow big creators. Big creators aren't going to give you time of day. That's not what I'm trying to say. Now, that I will talk about that in my next tip. But what I mean is something that I've loved experiencing on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, is the feeling of 2 people, 3 people, 4 people all having the same amount of like engagement, subscribers and stuff like that, and growing together. There is something really, really fun about that. For example, I do shout outs on the little Clocky Clock app, and it's something that I really enjoy doing because I love boosting other creators. But I've had people just follow me because I do shout outs, and it'd be very obvious that they followed me hoping that I would give them a shout out. And listen, I don't have a problem giving people shout outs. I literally started doing the trend just because I wanted to. But I have so many people and so many mutuals that we talk about how people are weird and will only want to talk to you when it's about creating content or about like posting on social media because they want likes and they want stuff like that. And I'm just, that's just not authentic. That's just not reliable to do. And a lot of us aren't taking it, we're not gonna say we're not taking it that seriously, but we're not taking the follower count that seriously. Like serious in like, oh, I'm proud of myself for getting there, but not serious as much as like, girl, I ain't Beyonce. Like, okay, 17K is a lot, but girl, we in the same boat. But when I look back at people that I started off being cool with when I was like really, really, really small, and they were really, really, really small, and we've come to the place where we're at like over 10K, over 20K, over 30K. I have friends on TikTok who have over 100K. It feels really, really good to both come up together. Because I feel like if you do that, it really builds community. You can do collaborations together. You can get really, really close and do all types of like videos and content together. Like for instance, Amy of Happy Olive Studio started doing journal swaps with people, and now I do journal swaps with so many people just because of that one person who reached out to me and asked me to do a journal swap with them. Or a more personal example in my real life is I have 2 in real life friends who started off as booktube friends, and I have literally spent days at their house. We have had girls' weekends. We've gone to see Taylor Swift together. We have had Friendsgiving together. We are as thick as thieves. And it all started off with us joining a book club together and talking on Instagram. Like we went, I think maybe 6 months just talking on Instagram and only about bookish stuff, and not even bookish stuff. We were talking about book club stuff. And then one day it became like really hard to keep up with each other. So we were like, okay, let's just move on to text messaging. But like over time we just got really close, and the book club stuff stopped being the talk of the town, and we started talking about real life stuff to the point where them BITCHs, listen, it's so bad that they know too much about me that if I ever became president, it's either sign the NDA or get taken out because they know way too much. And it really worked for us, and that all stemmed from us both being these small little creators and gaining more and more and building that community together. So Alexa, so when you're, oh my god, the sun, So when you're looking for people to follow, I feel like you should always start off with people who are at your engagement or at your similar place, because that feels so good. Now, I'm not saying don't follow bigger creators. Like, you can also always follow me on TikTok, girl. I welcome everybody, okay? Like, I do not care, and most of my mutuals do not give. And I think the journaling community is one of those communities that don't really have that problem that bad. But if you're in other communities, I think it's a little bit worse, because other communities, I feel like, have, like, how do I explain this? I keep saying like, and I hate that. I feel as if other communities, because they're bigger parts of YouTube and social media, that they have that issue a little bit more. But I have had instances in this community where people are a little bit fake. So I just hit my mic. I am so sorry, y'all. But that brings me to my 5th tip, and I'm calling it my big sister tip, aka BFFR. In other words, B. And this kind of correlates to what I was saying prior, is that you kind of have to think before you try to befriend people. There are people who take that number on social media very, very, very seriously. And I don't mean seriously as in, oh, they want to be content creators, they want to be, and I don't mean content creator. I think everyone who makes content are content creators. But I mean influencers. They want to be influencers. They want to make money. They want their mainstream of income to be TikTok, YouTube, sponsorships, whatever it is. But the thing about people who take it very, very seriously is 9 times out of 10, they will not interact with people who they see as below them or who have lower followers. So if that person has 200K followers, they're probably not interacting with people who don't have that similar follower count. They don't engage with others. They barely engage with people who are on their level, and they almost like reply to comments like you're their fan. I've seen that, and I'm just like, girl, who are you? So when I say BFFR, I'm not saying that you can't follow other creators that are big. Like I said, I feel like the journal community doesn't have it that bad. But if you're in other communities, I think it's a little bit bad in other communities. I'm not saying we're just the best people in the world, but I just feel like we're not as bad. I have had those instances before, but I don't think we're that bad, because I always feel really weird when I have people after I follow them and we're like mutually following, and they DM me going, oh my god, I can't believe you followed me. And in my head I'm just like, why? I don't think anything of 17,000 followers on TikTok. Like, I think it's great, and trust me, I celebrated when I got to 10,000. I'll celebrate when I get to 20. I'm putting in the universe, I'm gonna get to 20 and above and all the other stuff. But it's not like, I'm not like, girl, Beyonce, like Tiffany, Beyonce, like, I'm not that. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But because there are people who are like that, it seems almost unnatural to people that someone with a lot of following would follow them. And sometimes it's true. And I have friends who have way more followers than me who do not care that you have 10 followers, that you have 100 followers. But if you're creating something that they want to see, that they want to support, they're gonna follow you. But everyone isn't like that. So just when you are trying to build that community and those friendships with people, just remember, don't take it to heart if someone in a bigger scenario aren't responding or are giving I'm too good for that behavior. Number 6, I feel like people are not gonna like, but it is to leave follow trains, follow for follows. Let's support each other's. In 2014, 2015, whenever those were popping the most, leave them there. And there's a couple reasons why I say that. Number 1, it screws up your algorithm. And let me explain why I say that. Now, do I think follow trains and follow for follows and, oh, I'm a small creator, let's support each other, are bad things? No, I think they come from a good place. I think everybody just wants to kind of support everybody. But I think what happens a lot of times, I know what happens, because that's why I had to get a new channel. A lot of times what happens is you do these follow trains. And let's say you post on TikTok and you're like, oh, guys, I support each other. I'm a small creator. Let's grow this year together. Let's say the person who posted the video is a gamer, and then you're into beauty, and then the next person's into journaling, and the next person's into, I don't know, the cozy aesthetic. Could all those things be wrapped up into like lifestyle and stuff like that? Absolutely. Absolutely it can. But if it's not, if you followed a gamer and you don't know the difference between Call of Duty and, I don't know, Roblox, you're not going to give a about their content. I'm sorry, you're just not. Or if you don't care about makeup and skincare and beauty stuff like that, and you couldn't tell the difference between this makeup product and that makeup product, and you've never been inside Sephora, you're not going to care about those people's content. And they're not going to care about yours. I made the comment that I had to move my channel because back in 2020 during, y'all know, YouTube demonetizes stuff when you talk about it, so I'm not going to say it. But, okay, look at my race. What is my race? That movement. A bunch of booktubers decided that they wanted to uplift black booktubers, and they did. They followed us in droves and stuff like that, and I myself and a few other of my friends had the issue with them mass following and not watching the content. So what I say about algorithm being kind of messed up is the algorithm is a computer. It's going to see that you have all these people following you, but they're not watching your content. You have like 10,000 followers, but 3 people are watching your videos. That doesn't add up, and to the algorithm it seems like you bought followers, or it seems like you're doing the follow trains, and they do not consider that authentic. So what does that mean? So stop pushing your videos, or you can be like my friend and them threaten to demonetize her account for fraudulent and bot activity, which sucks if you are really trying to grow on social media. The other aspect of that is, outside of growing on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, is you aren't going to have authentic friendships because you guys don't like the same things. I'm not saying you guys can't like different things. I mean, I'm in the journaling community, but I see people post vlogs, they post gaming community content, they post cozy content, they post a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you, when my mutuals post something I don't give a about, I'll like the video and I'll say like, oh, that's super cool, but then I'm keeping it pushing. I'm not talking to them about it because I know nothing about it. Like, if they was playing Mortal Kombat or something, absolutely, let's talk about it. But when my homegirls are talking about makeup, y'all, listen, don't let this right here is light. I don't do makeup because I'm bad at it. I would love to be a baddie who could do it, but your girl can't do it, okay? I am not good at makeup. That being said, I skip videos when they be talking about the new makeup products. I ain't gonna lie. They be my mutuals, and I'm like, I like it, girl. I like it. Repost. But that's it. We ain't talking about it. We ain't building no friendship behind it because I don't know nothing about it. While I think follow trains have a really good place, you know, in your hearts to do, and you really want to support each other, I don't know if I 100% believe that it's as authentic and it's going to help you. I've been there when I was in early booktube. You know, even when we were in the same spaces, we would go, oh, I'm a smaller booktuber, like, let's follow each other and support each other. 9 times out of 10, you weren't getting the support that, you know, you thought you were going to get and everything, even when you're in the same community. But while I think those come from good places and people really do want to support each other and everything, I just think that it doesn't always work out the way you want to, and there are better ways to support people and support each other. Okay, I think I'm on number 6, 7, I don't know, one of those numbers, but that is to be patient and just know that it takes a while to be genuine friends with people. And I don't just mean social media friends. Like, if you want genuine friendships and friendships that surpass just supporting each other on social media, it does take time. You're not going to want to bare your soul to somebody right then and there, or maybe you do. I don't know you, dude, but maybe you do. I'm not that person. But friendships take time. They need to be nurtured just as much as romantic relationships do. So don't necessarily think or count out making community and making friends online just because it's not happening with a quickness or as quick as you want it to. So things take time. Engagement, following, all this stuff takes time. So don't count yourself out. Nurture those friendships, you know? Don't just think that because they're online, that means you don't have to do anything, or you can't do stuff, or that you don't have to nurture them the way you do your real life ones. Because if you want them to be in real life ones, you need to treat them like that. My next tip is to, oh my god, that sun, bro. It's like right at this window. The next tip, though, I think it's 8, 9, whatever it is. I'll put on the screen what number I'm on because I don't really know. Is to use hashtags as a way to find other people and so they can find you. Because, again, it should be like a two-way street. They should be supporting you. You should be supporting them all together. And hashtags can really help with that. So if you're on Instagram and you're noticing that you're not finding people, or maybe they're not finding you, use hashtags. Now, don't go overboard because algorithms do feel a little weird about too many hashtags on Instagram. But use them. Go to that tag or whatever niche or whatever you're in, and comment on other people's, and, you know, really engage with those and those trends. I'm not saying that you need to hop on every single trend because I don't even do that, but do things that are trending in your niche. But if you don't want to show your face, you literally don't have to. You can literally be like those gamers who randomly do face reveals like 6 years later. You don't have to show your face, trust me. Do trends, do what's popping at the time. Now, I'm not saying to be inauthentic and do things that you may not want to do, but it does help build the community, bring people to you, and find like-minded people. Okay, my 9th, 10th, or whatever final tip is there is a place in social media for everyone. You're not too niche. Your interests are not too niche. What you're looking for is not too super specific, because let me tell you, you're not the only person on the whole planet that likes to do what you like to do. I have a friend, I'm not going to give her name because I love her, but this was kind of shady. I have a friend who, back when Pokemon Go first came out, was on that SHIT, loved Pokemon Go, right? Like everyone did. And you know, like most trends, it petered out for people who really didn't care about it, but just kind of wanted to see what it was about, and probably had some like inner child thing where they're just like, oh my god, I want to be Ash, and they were playing it for a little bit. Anyway, time passed, and I was still playing Pokemon Go. Listen, I don't play it that much anymore, and I don't even have the app anymore, but I played it for a very long time until I needed space and I deleted it. I have 2 friends who, we were at 𝚗𝚘𝚖𝚎 here in Houston, and they were like, oh, there's a gym over here, and they were playing Pokemon Go. And so anyway, back to the friend. She was like, girl, you still play Pokemon Go? No one plays that. And I'm just like, hard stop. I don't care if no one plays it. And yes, they do. Like, you just didn't really care about it, and you're obviously not that big of a fan of Pokemon. It's okay to have been a soft fan or like been a big fan when we were kids, and you just aren't anymore, which is fine. But I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum, girl. If you want to go play at that gym, go play at that gym. If you want to go catch that Charizard, go catch that Charizard. I don't care. But I'm not going to make someone feel bad because something was popular at one time and then it petered out and now people don't use it anymore. No. It's kind of like, have you ever seen, like, back when bullet journaling started popping off a lot on social media, all these creators that never were into planners, never were into journaling, started trying it out to see if it worked for them, and they like made all this content surrounding it because it was a trend, and then months down the line you hear nothing about it. They don't bullet journal, they don't even look at journals anymore, which again, it's fine, but that's kind of the harm of jumping on things that are popular at the time, is that you try it out and you don't like it. But just because the vast community of people who really weren't bullet journaling aren't bullet journaling anymore does not mean people don't bullet journal. The same people who've been bullet journaling for years are still bullet journaling. The same people who've been scrapbooking for years are still scrapbooking. The same people who've been playing Pokemon Go for years are still playing Pokemon Go. What I'm trying to say is, niches can go from here to get here really quickly. And even if it's a really small niche, who cares? Who cares if there's like 30 people online doing it? So nothing is too niche and nothing is too weird or awkward. I promise you there's a community for you. And girl, if it's not, be the first one. Who cares? Because if you are the first one, someone's just gonna jump on and be like, oh my god, I did not know people like this. So anyway, that's pretty much it for me and my tips on building community and making friends online. I mean, I'm sure there's other tips, and if you have any, leave them down below in my comment section. If you enjoyed this video, check out some of my other videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. I promised that the next one was going to be, well, this is gonna post, and I promised that this was going to be a planner video, but then I ended up doing this one first, so the planner video will come after this video. So until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts.
'Cause I really hate you, 'cause you made me so blue.